Chairman, we now proceed to Congressman Brian Mast of Florida.
Thank you, Chairman. Taliban, ISIS-K run Afghanistan today?
I would not say that ISIS-K runs Afghanistan today, no.
They run a portion of it. They run as a level of authority in some places.
You know, what we're finding with ISIS-K is they are largely choosing to keep a low profile and then execute attacks in cities as well as outside the country. They're not
Taliban, yes.
The Taliban, I think, you know, I don't want to step into territory around anything to do with recognition, but
Taliban runs it enough that we don't want to give money to the Afghan central bank.
I think the Taliban are in control of the Afghan central bank as well as other institutions, yes.
Okay, you familiar with the name Shah Rabi?
Yes.
He's one of the 4 board members, one of the co-chairs.
That's correct.
Of the Afghan fund,
That's right.
$3.5 billion.
Mm-hmm.
Who was in charge of vetting Shah Rabi?
So the process that we followed entailed having consistent with the Federal Reserve Act. We certified this person who was put forward by the accredited representative of Afghanistan at the time.
Who put him forward?
The accredited representative of Afghanistan at this
Credit representative of Afghanistan?
Accredited representative of
Who's that,
Afghanistan.
the accredited representative of Afghanistan?
I'd be very glad to talk to you in another setting, in a public setting, given, I think, quite legitimate security concerns. I don't want to speak further.
But you don't want to say who the accredited representative of Afghanistan?
I'd be happy to speak with you in a classified setting.
You could just say no. I don't want to answer that. You don't want to say who the accredited representative of Afghanistan is?
I'd be happy to speak with
Just
you in a
say
classified setting.
Don't do the Washington, D.C. BS. Just say no or yes. Was Shah Rabi fired from Mary Washington College for, let's just say, misrepresenting his credentials, saying he was a doctor when he was not?
These allegations we were not aware of.
But just was he?
Process,
Today,
forward.
was he?
It wouldn't have changed our, I think, determination in the end.
It wouldn't have changed your determination to appoint him as a co-chair, elevate him from board member to co-chair of this, had you known that he was fired from a college for saying he was a doctor and he wasn't. That wouldn't have changed. That really goes, I really don't have to ask a lot more because it really goes to the heart of what I wanted to get at of what's going on at State Department about the vetting of individuals. The idea that you would say, yes, we weren't totally aware of what went on with this individual, misrepresenting their credentials, being fired from previous universities, saying that they were a member of an honor society, things that, these are allegations that we haven't asked you about all of them, you haven't confirmed all of them, but you're saying it wouldn't have changed what took place. That's disturbing to me, number one. But it really goes to another question. You said that you acknowledge Taliban runs Afghanistan, or, you know, in large part, and certainly is control of the central bank. Shah Rabi is also a board member of the Afghan central bank. So what does that say about his connections to the Taliban?
I think our assessment is that he is not under the thumb of or controlled by the Taliban. I mean, he's an American citizen. He teaches at Montgomery College. He's had a decades-long career. That's an advisory position. He's
had a decades-long career and has been fired for misrepresenting his work from the places that he has had careers in. I don't know the entire history of that, and I'd like to hear more about it from you all, perhaps in another setting. But he is a board member of the Afghan Central Bank, on one hand, that you just acknowledged is controlled by the Taliban. So if you want to be a board member there, you got to be in cahoots with the Taliban. You would add up to most people. And we appointed him as a part of this entity in Switzerland, one of 4 people that's going to control $3.5 billion on behalf of the United States of America to determine if this goes back to the Afghanistan Central Bank. That seems moronic to me, and it seems like an absolute conflict of interest. Is he getting paid as a board member of either of those?
No.
He doesn't get paid as a board member of the Afghan Central Bank?
No.
He doesn't get paid as a board member of the Afghan Fund?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay, and so to go on just one more time, do you know was he fired from Washington College?
I saw the allegations that Cigar brought to our attention. We were not aware of them before they were brought to our attention. I haven't talked
My
to
remaining
Washington
second,
College.
thank you. I'm sorry I'm running out of time because I would want to hear from you more. I really don't want to just interrupt you.
No problem.
I do want
Please,
to submit
go
something
ahead.
for the record, Mr. Chairman, and that's this letter from Cigar stating that state did respond to many requests for information for ongoing audits. However, there is a difference between simply responding to the request and providing fulsome answers to our questions. That's directly from Cigar about State Department's response to them and how they are being not cooperative. Please submit that for the record.
Without objection and enthusiastically so ordered.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.